There's a new campaign out now wanting to highlight the success of public education.
We're a public education organization. We represent local, typically elected school board members who are folks in the community who make decisions on behalf of public education. And quite honestly, they're doing a great job. Public schools are doing a great job, but they're just not getting enough credit.
What people don't know is I've literally been an advocate for a public school system pretty much my entire life. I mean, I owe, I think, my entire professional existence to the foundation that was born in a school called Andover High School in Linthicum, Maryland. I think just by virtue of where I lived at the time of my birth, I was considered what you could call an at-risk kid. But because these teachers took the time to make me not the at-risk kid, the only thing I'm at risk of is becoming the most successful person on this planet.
And what's important for us is that we have strong school boards and we have strong community ownership of public schools, because public education, first and foremost, is a community enterprise, and so it needs effective leadership. What we've really done in the last generation is said we need to make sure that every child in this country has a great public education, that they're educated to a high level, and that's what schools are doing. Public education began as a local enterprise, and I think we're seeing that it's strongest when it's led locally. In fact, the Gallup poll last summer showed the highest results ever in terms of people thinking it's the local school board that should be the primary decision maker about what kids are taught and how schools are operated.
Now there's a new campaign by the NSBA aimed at better informing the public about education policy and giving you an avenue to voice your concerns and support for your child's school. It's called Stand Up for Public Schools, and many celebrities such as Montel, who graduated from public schools, are already endorsing it.
For the last 100 years, 80% of the people in this country were educated in public schools. 80%. 80% of our business leaders, 80% of our politicians.
And we know that while people value education in their community, they don't always get involved. And I do want to thank Montel for being such a great spokesperson for this campaign. I have to tell you, the passion you hear from him is absolutely genuine. And when we ran this campaign, we approached him, and I don't think we even finished the sentence asking him. And he said, yes, public education, first and foremost, is a community enterprise. It's a community asset. People want great public schools, they support it, and it's really through these local school boards that happens.
What can we find on your website as I check it out, standupforpublicschools.org?
Well, there's a lot of material there, good research information about what I'm talking about, the increased performance of public schools to kind of counter some of the arguments of the critics and those who might provide some of that misinformation, and just resources that can be downloaded and used. And we've encouraged school districts and community support organizations to take this and run with it, because the more we can get the word out, the better.
We had somebody earlier today say, well, most of Americans read at an 8th grade level. That's not true. We got to start giving out real information like we have the highest graduation rate from high schools this year, and we had that same graduation last year in the history of American high schools, 81%.
Stand up for public schools.
Stand up for the number 4 public schools.
Stand up for public schools.
Stand up for public schools. Schools is really what made me who I am today.